Good day, folks. And today I want to talk about tune-ups because I think they're, something I got lots to say about. Because, this horse has got a lot to do with it, too. I'll get to her in a minute, but my opinion of tune-ups is, well, if you've ever done any research or reading on horse memories, they don't forget anything. So, refreshing their memory, no, not too likely you got to do that. The other thing is if your trainer actually tells you your horse needs a tune-up, well, it's a scam. They're just trying to take your money. Horses don't need tune-ups. Sometimes the riders do because, yeah, over the course of the year you might end up start having trouble with your horse. That's not unusual at all. But is it the horse's training? Does it need a tune-up? No, it's because it's learned something new. And that results in undesirable behaviors that you think actually require a tune-up. And how do they learn that? Well, you taught them. Now, I know nobody would ever intentionally teach their horse something undesirable. That's just not going to happen. But the fact of the matter is that it does happen. And sometimes the tiniest little thing that we're doing wrong can actually create a few problems. Well, you send the horse off to the trainer for a tune-up, and it doesn't take them long to fix the problems. It comes back, problems are all gone, but it's not long before those problems reoccur again. Next thing you know, the following year, you're sending the horse off for a tune-up again, and this cycle keeps going on over and over, and you keep spending money, and the problems keep coming back. Well, that's because you're the one that actually needs a tune-up. You're doing something just slightly wrong that is teaching the horse something wrong that is going to keep reoccurring until you correct yourself. So sending the horse for a tune-up, that's not going to do any good. It might temporarily fix your problems, but in the long run, they're probably going to come back over and over. So figure out what's actually going wrong, correct yourself. You don't need a tune-up. Well, the horse doesn't anyhow. And well, that brings me to this one. I want to tell you a little bit about her because it just validates the fact that tune-ups are pretty much unnecessary. Well, you see, I've actually had her for quite a while, but I haven't ridden her much. She probably hasn't even got 25 hours on her back. We haven't completed her training even. And we got to the point where we decided, because of her peculiar shape, that we weren't going to ride her anymore. Good enough. We don't care. It's okay. We fixed some of the more severe problems because prior to getting her, when I got her, she was a real basket case. Couldn't catch her, couldn't even touch her, couldn't handle her. She didn't like humans at all. That took a long time to fix that stuff. And then we finally, well, let's say she was 16 years old by the time we even rode her out of the yard for the first time. And since then, which has been about 10 years, well, geez, we really haven't ridden her much. And in fact, I was trying to recall how often she's been ridden, and I think in the last 6 years, I may have been on her 3 times, maybe 4, very briefly. So she'd be a candidate for a tune-up because most people think after a horse sits for a while, it needs a tune-up. No. I think the last time I was actually on her, like I said, only maybe 3 times in the last 6 years, and the most recent one, well, aside from the last couple of days we've been getting on her since we finally found a saddle that fits. But prior to that, I think the last time I was on her was, I don't know, at least a couple of years ago, at least. But did she forget anything? No. Did she need a tune-up? No. Well, you just saw me ride up on her. I've been using her for my demos. You see her standing here nice and quiet and everything. She's a good little horse. And she really hasn't forgotten the things she knew, which, well, wasn't a lot actually, because we really hadn't gotten in depth into her training. She still needs to learn lots more things, but that's okay. She'll get there. But she doesn't need a tune-up. She just needs continuation of her training, learning more things, what to do, not do. And, already even just in the last few days, we're going slow with her, no point in pushing her. And even in the short time we've been riding her around, she's been learning a lot. Did she need a tune-up? No. So, like I said, most of her riding was actually done, 10 years ago. And in the last 6 years, maybe 3 times, no tune-up. And she's not the first horse I've gotten on that has not been ridden in a year or two. And they don't forget a darn thing. And a lot of people even figure that if the horse sits for even a few months, needs a tune-up. Oh, I can assure you that that's absolutely not true. I can't even count how many I've been on that have been sitting for months, including my own. I got a couple that would quite often sit for months at a time and hop on them and ride them like it was yesterday. And pretty rare we ever had any problems at all, except problems that, basically already existed. It's the only problems I've ever had. So before you decide to spend your money and send your horse off for a tune-up, which some people may have already done, take the time to watch this video and give it some thought. Is it really the horse that has the problem? And are you wasting your money? Maybe your money could be better off spent educating yourself on what you could be doing a little bit differently to prevent the problems from reoccurring. So, do horses need a tune-up? I don't think so. A lot of people don't. And I will have to say it's been a bit of a relief that I actually haven't heard too many people lately talking about it. I think that's a good thing. Have a good day.